Welcome everybody to the Larkspur Planning Commission meeting on Tuesday, February 24th, 2026. Can we start with a roll call, please?
Yes, Commissioner Hall.
Here.
Sorry. Commissioner Chalmers.
Here.
Commissioner Wagstaff.
Here.
And Acting Chair Campbell.
I am here.
Okay, you have 4 commissioners present and Chair Swisher is absent this evening.
Thank
do have
you.
a quorum.
Doing important things. Saving lives. Good. Okay, well, moving on to item 2. Are there any public comments on matters that are not on our agenda tonight? It looks like we have one in the audience, so come up to the mic and introduce yourself, please.
My name is Judy Smith. I live at 50 Diane Lane.
Hang on one second. We're gonna make sure the mic's on.
Am I not speaking into it? Okay. I'm not a public speaker, but I have a concern about a project that's going in next door to me at 56 Diane Lane. As you know, it's a pretty big house for the neighborhood. And when I was here for the planning, when they were planning it, it was agreed that the window that was facing my property was going to be a frosted, opaque window. The window went in about a week and a half ago, and it was a clear glass window. I approached the builder, developer, contractor, owner, flipper about it, and he denied that it was on the plans. Okay, I said I would call and find out about it. I sent an email to his architect, who later in that day did respond to me and say, yes, it is on the plans that it's supposed to be a frosted window. It's a big window. And she said that it would be frosted. A film would be added to it before it got finalized. Well, I don't think that's fair because a film can come off as easily as it can go on. And I did speak to Alex about it, who said, well, if that happens, it'll be in the file and you can come and contest it. But I don't want to be a policeman and I don't want to antagonize a neighbor who may take the film off because that house is getting sold. He's not going to live there. And as far as I know, if he denied it, he would take it off as soon as you gave him his occupancy permit. So what I'm requesting is that you adhere to the plans that said it was going to be an opaque frosted window. And that's what it should be. That's what I believe that it should be. I don't want to be the cop. I don't want to be the bad neighbor. I don't want to be the one policing him. That's what the plans are for. That's what I think the plans are for. So that's why I'm here. That's my request.
Thank you. Yeah, is that okay? So
you just hear about that's it.
okay, so
what can she do?
We know about it.
okay, so yeah, thank you for raising that comment. And
can we say anything about obscure frosted windows, however?
Usually you bring it up when the individual item comes to you as a condition of approval. In this case, it was.
We did,
And
yeah.
The plans were so. When you condition it to be frosted, we make sure that it's on the plans and it would not get a final certificate of occupancy until the window is frosted.
But I think the question that she's asking is a legitimate one in the sense that I've always thought frosted windows are a permanent thing. And they should be.
We get a building permit. They're actually an opaque sticker that goes over the window. That's true with commercial properties, residential. So what I would recommend in the future for this commission is that when you do make a condition of approval, to think a little bit more and maybe require the glass itself to be opaque rather than just saying a frosted window, because That's how these kinds of things fall through cracks, is that we don't get as specific in the condition of approval that, maybe we intended. And that's just my experience from other situations.
Good. That's actually good feedback.
Yeah, it happens, and unfortunately, it's one of those things where, we get so many permits and they go through the process and technically it's frosted, but the intent might have been to have the glass actually be,
Mhm.
you know,
How much does it cost to put a frosted window in?
well,
Do we know?
Obviously, an opaque film is inexpensive.
That's because I've done that and it's not very expensive and it has stayed on actually for a very long time. But I'm just curious, how much is a actual frosted? No.
No, but I think, because it's a condition of approval, we can hold the property owner to that
Mhm.
condition. We do have that ability when you do make the condition of approval. So if the scenario happened where that opaque treatment was removed, our code enforcement officer is gonna go look at the condition of approval and they'll be able to write a notice, or a courtesy notice and then a notice of violation that was removed and has to go back.
Mhm.
So it does help that it is a condition of approval, but sometimes if you want to go a little further, it helps to be a little bit more detailed. But because it is a condition of approval on an entitlement, we actually can go back and,
Okay.
we can go back and enforce it.
But somebody has to complain about it first.
We do operate on a complaint basis, but we
Which
also.
is-
do-
That becomes yeah.
I think that's your job and that it should be done before the occupancy permit.
We do.
I don't want to be the cop.
Yeah, and we wouldn't issue the permit, until, we wouldn't final it until it's done.
But
But not the film, the actual etched window, the actual frosted window. Because that film can come off just as easily as it can come on.
and I have to say, as a former architect, when we said frosted windows, it wasn't putting a film on them.
No.
It never was.
Yeah, that was not our intent.
So this is sort of a game somebody's playing.
We can enforce that and make sure that it's done properly, and this is kind of CFO.
So just to sort of address I don't want to address your question, right? But I was gonna, right, I was gonna say, we have specific, we have an agenda that's published and everything so that everybody knows what we're going to talk about. So we're not legally allowed to have a discussion about this topic here.
And I want to add to that because the whole point of doing the notice is to allow the other party, so the developer, I guess, to come in and give their statements. That's the whole. So that's why we're not supposed to be discussing it. But sorry, I interrupted Liam. Yeah.
No, so
My
Yeah.
wants to be heard.
yeah, so your thoughts have been heard and we appreciate you coming out and yeah, staff is aware. So I think that's right. Okay, cool. Thank you. Any other comments on items not on the agenda? Anybody on Zoom? Okay, excellent. Then we'll move on to item 3, the Community Development Director's Report.
Oh, here, that's yours. Take this one. And this one is on. On Tuesday, March 5th, we'll be hosting an open house in the Community Development Department at the counter for folks in the development community to meet our new Chief Building Official, Matthew Avila, and myself. And we'll be there to help answer questions if any folks in the community need to know more about the permit process, the building department. So it's just an informal open house and 9 a.m. on Thursday, March 5th.
All day or
No, just from 9 to 10:30.
Okay.
Yeah. So we don't expect a lot of folks to come, but it's really for the people who may have like a planning entitlement in or have major projects in progress, just to come in and say hello. The folks that we interact with throughout the year on the same projects, because sometimes we do see some of the same individuals regularly, and it's good to get to know those kinds of folks. But it is open. So
March 2nd?
no,
5th.
Thursday, March 5th at 9 a.m.
Okay.
And leave it at that. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we're moving on to item number 4, public hearings tonight. So we'll start with item A, which is 160 Marina Vista Avenue. It's a public hearing request for design review. I won't read the whole thing, but can we please have the staff report?
Yes. Share my screen here.
I shouldn't tease Jeff when he's not even here to
The
defend
perfect
himself.
time to tease him. Okay, so yes, good evening. The item before you is PLN 25-035 for 160 Marina Vista Avenue. The property is located on the west side of Marina Vista Avenue. It's surrounded by residences to the north, east, and south, and then open space to the west. And there's a limited street view photo on the right there for you. The project is fairly straightforward. It proposes to add a total of, I think, 610 square feet. That's 139 square feet to the first story and 471 square feet to the second story. It would be a new second story, and it requires the Planning Commission to approve a design review entitlement. On the screen here, if you can see it, the architect provided 3D renderings that show kind of the main change here, and it all happens on the western end of the home. So this flat roof area is being replaced with this second story gabled roof addition. Here are the floor plans for you. On the left is the demolition plan and the existing floor plan. So the walls highlighted in red will be removed. And then on the right is the proposed floor plan. And if you can, so I guess the shading doesn't show up very well. The proposed first story additions are located along this northern edge here. And then again here at the rear of the residence where it faces the backyard. And then in addition to that, there are some changes to the height of the roof. So there is a raised interior ceiling height area that's in this sort of blue rectangle, which I'm not sure you can see on the overhead. And then this is the floor plan of the new second story. It's a guest bed and bath, and then a viewing nook. Here are the proposed elevations. So in addition to the additions that we've talked about, the other changes include removal of a wing wall that sort of separates the garage from the rest of the residence. And as I had mentioned, a height increase of the existing roof on the main level here. Here's the west elevation. The south elevation. And then the east elevation. So you've received no public comments so far on this item, and staff recommends that the commission hold a public hearing, consider public testimony, discuss and approve the project subject to findings, conditions of approval, and a Class 1 CEQA exemption. And that's all I've got for you. I believe the owner and the applicant are here as well.
Thank you very much. Any questions for staff?
Yes. Yeah, I have a question. I have a legal question. What triggered design review here? I didn't understand. There was no variances or anything. So why are they coming to the commission?
It's the size. It's technically a new second story, and it's more than 300 square feet. So that's the trigger for design review.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, any other questions?
It's a trick question.
I've got a question, maybe, well, I'll save it for you guys. Would you guys like to speak at all? And if you could introduce yourself, that'd be great.
Yeah, hey everybody. My name's Nick Miller. I am the architect working on this. This is Josh, homeowner. Thanks for being here. Got a little wet. It's not an easy one today. I'll just keep it short. The impetus for starting the project was the gable roof there that's existing was starting to sag. It had some structural things. And then as we got into it, they're kind of preparing for expanded family with grandchildren, and they really wanted to have this additional bedroom suite. If you know the area, it's really steep, so it's pretty limited in the ways we could expand. If you look through the sections, you could see where we added the second story. We tried to step it back a little bit, so we didn't go all the way over the bed O2, which is the furthest out towards the street. And they lived in the neighborhood a long time, so they're kind of able to reach out early to some of the neighbors and get a little feedback. So we kind of got out ahead of that. And then we're going to have some added benefit, with fire safety, adding fire sprinklers that aren't there existing. It's a really heavily wooded area. So we kind of see the project as a win for everybody. That's all I got.
Just a quick question. Does it already have metal roof or are you?
Most of it's metal, and then some of it is some old single membrane roofing.
Yeah, I
a
was
long
trying to.
time ago. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, metal's great
Yeah.
for fire.
So yeah, so all the new gables will have metal roof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It looks like on the east elevation, I don't know if you can pull that up, Alex. It's sheet A13. Um, the roof line is shown as being, 10 feet over the 30-foot from natural grade height limit. And maybe it's a question for staff of that's just one elevation and it's,
Yeah,
not the whole thing.
that's kind of what's going on here is that the
Okay.
contours of the land change. So in all the applicable elevations, if you look at where the second story or the proposed addition sits on the lot, it does comply with the height limit.
Gotcha. Okay. So there we go.
Yeah, it wasn't easy for me either, to tell the truth. Yeah.
Just covering our bases. Any other questions?
Yeah, does the corner of the property encroach on the road?
The property includes the road, yes, out to the midline of the road.
So is that like an encroachment permit or how does that work?
I believe it's a private road, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, it's a private road? It's not a private road? It's a public easement along the, I'm just curious how that from a legal standpoint. It's like, because it looks like the corner of the property is actually on the road, but you're saying the road,
The house.
the corner of the property, the
Yeah.
house, yeah.
The site plan, I believe, let me look at it here, shows the property line.
I thought the easement was just to access the property.
Yeah, there's an access easement for the property south of 160 Marina
Right,
Vista. I
but-
think it's
But
162.
that's not for the road though, is it? The road's just a public road, yeah?
And well, the easement, I believe, it's kind of hard to see here with the light green shading, but if you follow my cursor, it runs kind of all along, almost parallel to the edge of the roadway. Along here through the north end of the property. But this dashed line is what's shown as the property line.
Right. But the encroachments further, but what's the name of the street? Marina Vista, that's a public road?
Yeah.
Right. So is the building then on the road? Does it here?
Yeah.
See here?
The building's
Maybe this
contained
one.
entirely on the.
See here? It seems to show that it's on the road.
Maybe this one's better.
It looks like the property line goes down the middle of the road.
Yeah, this is.
Extends the middle of the road, but then the city has a public easement.
Yeah.
It's 20 feet from the center of the road onto each property.
Oh, interesting. That's
Yeah.
how that works.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all like.
But the house sits
the
up,
road
there's
is
no,
cut
it's
this off.
I know, but isn't that like
the
a,
road.
That's correct. It shows correctly as he described on the assessor's parcel map.
got it. Okay, thank you. I'm trying to understand how that works. I have no other questions.
Okay. Anybody else?
Mhm.
Okay, thank you. In that case, we'll open it up for public comments. Anybody? No, there's no one in the room here. So is there anybody on Zoom that would like to?
If you're on
Comment?
Zoom and you want to comment, please raise your hand. No hands are. Oh, yeah, wait, there. Oh, it briefly went up. There it goes again. I'll have to do it from this computer. Okay, Taita Beatty should be able to unmute and speak now.
Hello.
We can hear you.
Okay, great. Hey, we live directly across the street, and so this is all news to us, and we think it's great that they're going to be able to build the room. I just had a question about the length of time of the project in terms of what sort of how long it would take, what sort of contractor, any sort of blocking of the road or what am I looking at here for the next few months and how long will I be looking at it?
I don't know if do you want to respond to that?
Yeah, I'll do my best. We don't have a structural engineer involved yet. So
Okay.
usually that means, you're at least 6 months out before we would be, getting a permit, and that's best case scenario. So most likely, if anything, it would actually be starting next year potentially. We
Okay.
could push it and maybe do start at the end of this year, but usually that's not a good idea in these
No,
situations.
more in terms of the coming and the going, because our driveway opens directly in front of the house, and that's
Right,
our
yeah.
only egress and entrance. So
I'm
just
going
to
to interject here really quickly and say we shouldn't be getting into like a discussion with
okay,
the commenter and the architect. So if you want to complete your
Okay.
comment and then the architect can respond in full, and then we can move forward.
that'd be great. So I'd complete that and submit it online.
Anything further that you'd like to comment on, I would do it now,
Okay.
and then the architect can respond. And
Okay.
just instead of having a back and forth, we'll do it one and then the other.
Okay. I'll submit something in writing then.
And this is a great forum, like public meeting, right? For people to voice their concerns and everything. But we also encourage folks to interact with their neighbors, right? This would be a good opportunity for, I'm assuming your neighbors and sort of discuss this kind of stuff outside of the public forum. But we do appreciate your comments in this forum as well. So
Can I add a little more response to that?
sure, yeah.
Yeah, I think it probably should be an ongoing discussion because we're totally aware of the restrictions there. They have the one spot you can pull off the road, and then you can really only get two cars tandem in that driveway. Um, so we can show you a plan later and maybe start a discussion directly.
Thank you. Any other comments on Zoom?
No.
Okay, no comments on Zoom. In that case, we'll bring it back to the commission for discussion. Do we have any volunteers? No? Okay, we'll start with Brock.
I'll volunteer. Um, I think it's great. That's one of my favorite hikes is along Marina Vista. So I go by that house fairly frequently. And you have that one little parking spot there off the side. And I think it'll make a nice addition to the house.
Yeah, I agree with Commissioner Wagstaff. I think it's a nice design, and I can make the findings for design review, and that's really all we're making the findings for tonight. So I think that's fairly straightforward from my perspective. Ditto.
Yeah, I agree. And we also have to make findings for the CEQA exemption too, but I can make findings for that. I think so, right? Last one, CEQA exemption.
Given.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, in that case, I think we can make a motion. Takers.
I can make a motion to approve project number 25035. And that's all I'm going to say.
I'll second.
Can we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Wagstaff,
Yes.
Commissioner Hall,
Yes.
Commissioner Chalmers,
Yes.
and Chair Campbell.
Yes.
Okay, the motion passes 4 yeses, 0 nos, 1 absence. The approval is subject to a 10-day appeal period. Interested parties can appeal the decision by submitting the required form and fee to the city clerk before the end of that appeal period. Thank you.
Thank you. Congrats. Okay, in that case, we will move on to move out of the public hearings portion of the meeting and move into the business items. So item A is a proposed modification to our meeting start times. I don't know if you guys have anything you want to say about that. There was a little document, but
I kind of summarized it in the memorandum. I think just about most cities in California of our size have, of course, just they don't have that many items, so they typically will have one meeting a month. it is a lot more efficient to hold a special meeting than it is to cancel a meeting. And the reason for that is canceling a meeting requires us to go out and post the cancellation notice at the different places around town, Bon Air, the Country Mart, where we do post hearing notices, postings online. And so it's a lot more efficient for us to have one meeting a month, and if needed, have a special meeting. And one of the things I probably didn't elaborate in the memo was that if we do choose to have a special meeting, we would do it at the time we normally do, which would be the opposite Tuesday of the month. Like we normally have a meeting, we would try to schedule at that time. But the other thing is it helps us be more efficient with our meetings. We can get more items on an agenda. Like tonight and some of the last few meetings, you only had one item, and so that's probably not necessary. We can have these items kind of bunched up into the same meeting. It makes it a lot more efficient for your time and ours as well. The start time, of course, is just that's just I think we had a comment at the last meeting where somebody wasn't sure if the meeting started at 6:30 or not, and because all the other meetings like council they start at 6:30, and this is the only one that starts at 7. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. The other thing is, of course, it saves time for the folks who help us televise these meetings. They obviously don't have to set that out of their schedule to be here. If we only have one a month, same with staff. Of course, it's just Alex and I. We're always going to be here anyway. So I don't know if that helps answer your question, but that's the idea.
When would it start?
Whenever you want. It's up to you.
You mean when would the meeting start, or when would we start doing that?
When would we go to one a month?
Yeah, I mean that's what I assumed you meant.
Why
Right?
why not? Yeah, why not now?
Well,
Yeah, I mean, if we don't we don't need a meeting.
The only thing I would say about 6:30 is that some of these meetings do last, 4 hours. So 6:30 means I know it's a big sacrifice, but it means you eat pretty early.
Well, actually, I don't disagree with what you're suggesting, and I think everything you've suggested made a lot of sense. But I always have questions, and I just wanted to put a few things out there. Brock, you tell me what you think. I feel like when we first started on the commission, which was more than 4 years ago, there was a lot more on the agenda. And I felt some of these meetings did go quite long. I feel recently there hasn't been a lot on the agenda, but
it's just recently, really.
it is only just recently. And there's been cases where we voluntarily had to stop meetings at 9:30 because we're just exhausted, we're too tired. Certain members on the commission have early starts the next day. So if we only had one meeting a month, I just don't want it to be suddenly a meeting that runs till 11 o'clock every night. So I would then, if we did change it, hopefully we would rely on staff to plan that so we wouldn't have a late night meeting.
And I think the other critical thing is people come with their friends. They, the later items, if we say we just can't do any more, they've sat there the entire time.
But we've done a good job of
Yeah.
predicting that it could be a late meeting, and we'll just sort of say we don't think we're going to get to it. I feel like we've done a good job of that, but hopefully we won't suddenly have. I don't want it to become a norm that we're here late at night. That was the first thing. And I guess the worst case scenario is it just goes back to every fortnight, right? You just every 2 weeks. And then on the earlier start time, when I first saw it, I thought it was just changing the time and not the number of meetings. And my response was going to be, I prefer the 7 o'clock time because I have 2 small children. I have to feed them, get them ready for bed. And a lot of the people who come in here are young families who move to Larkspur from the city or from other places, and they all come in with young children. And so we're all in the same boat. So we can start at 7. You can get babysitters in place, and it just makes it so much easier. However, if it's just once a month, I can handle that. So, but that was my one comment about starting it earlier. But if you're saying the other meetings do it, I don't think Corte Madera Planning Commission does it. They do it 7 as well, though.
I think he means the other city of
The city
Larkspur.
council, internally, okay. But city council Don't they have like some closed meeting first and then they go into the public
Sometimes.
portion? No?
If
Okay.
there's a closed meeting, they would do it before.
They would do it before 6:30. Okay.
It varies. You can do them before or after.
All right. I mean, if you're asking my opinion, that's the 7 o'clock just has worked well with me and with a young family. But if it's once a month, I can totally handle that. So those were just my two comments, my request and my comment.
And I guess the other thought I had is, do we need to formally say we only have one meeting a month? Can't you, you know,
Yeah.
why not just, if you don't have enough items, put it off for a month? You know, we've
Well,
done
that's
that
what we've
before.
done, haven't we? Yeah.
Right. So why do we formally need to say?
Because then they don't have
I
to,
think-
you know, put all the notices up to cancel it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Because the cancellation notices take a lot of
Yeah.
effort. It's easier to
Mhm.
you know, it's easier
Plan,
to schedule
yeah.
a special meeting.
Whatever's easy for you guys.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. Yeah, that part doesn't bother me.
No.
I like, we've been doing it at 7 o'clock for as long as I've been here, and I drive an hour from Santa Rosa after work, and
Oh, so you need the time.
it's nice to start at 7, but
Yeah.
it doesn't. I mean, I could, well, like you said, once a month.
Once a month
I
is
could do
fine.
it,
If it was,
for sure.
Can I throw a data point out there? I've only been on the commission for 2 years now, and I've never had a meeting where we stopped because we didn't and couldn't get through the entire agenda. So,
right. It's
but
not,
that's got to be before.
that's
then.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Doing the general plan or the housing element.
Well, there was one time that we had a number of properties, and I remember.
We've had several times where we had to do that.
Yes,
Just couldn't get to
there were just a number of properties, and we just had to put a hard
10:30 or
stop.
11.
Yeah, and you're right. With the housing element, that was a lot of people came to those meetings, but that was sort of an exception. I just think if there's an understanding that it's still okay for us to put a hard stop on the very late night meetings, because I don't want to make bad decisions because we're all so tired, you know.
Yeah, I feel like in the past, we haven't had like a super full schedule for the last
Building costs are
3,
so expensive and
6.
interest rates have been high. So I don't think maybe people have been putting off projects.
Well, like 3 or 6 months, we've been maybe, a third or half of our meetings.
So how many of the 979 units do we have to get done by 2032?
That's a great.
Better have more meetings.
Yeah.
That's
Well, I should point out some of those projects in the housing element are ministerial approval, so you would not see them.
Mhm.
Oh.
So,
How many have been built?
well, we don't have applications, we have Magnolia Village.
North
and,
Magnolia.
That's under construction, and 1,000 Larkspur Landing, or Drake's Landing. So, but those aren't very many units. But there are provisions in the housing element where some of the big projects are actually just ministerial
Yeah.
approvals. And I should point out that a lot of the projects that you approve as a planning commission, they don't go to planning commissions in other cities. That's not true in Marin County, but I can say in the Bay Area, it varies just how your code is written. So, just depending on city to city, every city has different standards. So, a lot of the cities I've worked for, the items that you would see before you, like the one tonight, I think you asked, why is this here? And it's because they don't, they're not triggered. They don't trigger a public hearing. So,
Yeah.
but it varies. It just depends on what cities want to review and what they don't want. So cities do have control over what goes to hearing. You can amend your code. Like I said, I described it to council in their retreat like a sliding scale. You want to see everything, or do you want everything to be done at the staff level? So, and that's certainly a discussion for down the road.
Right.
But in terms of this, well, maybe we should separate it into two things. We're deciding right now, right? We can just decide.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can break it up into two if you like.
Okay. So how about one meeting a month? Is everybody okay with that? Sounds like it saves staff time, and if we need an extra meeting, we can schedule one.
We'll have
okay.
We will endeavor to program the agenda as you've described, so that we don't overload you with items. Obviously, we don't want to do that. It's sort of like now we have just one item per meeting. That doesn't have to be that way, but we'll we'll do our best to manage the agenda so it's not too much. And then if there's a lot of items, yes, we'll schedule a special meeting.
Do we
Okay.
have to have a formal vote on it or?
You're welcome to have a vote and a motion. The funny thing about this is we don't have bylaws or a resolution or anything in the municipal code on the topic, which is kind of interesting. It's just local rules we just don't really have any local rule on this. It's really at your discretion.
It seems like it can be pretty informal. I mean,
Yep.
just
It is
decide
an
we're
informal-
gonna do
Yeah.
it every other meeting unless it gets busy and we need to
Yeah.
have an extra meeting.
Yeah, I've been in some cities where it's actually in the municipal code. It's not here. Others that have like an administrative code or bylaws or
Yeah,
just some kind of rule book, but we just don't have that here.
And we're down one commissioner tonight, but I don't
think-
think that matters really, does it?
Well, I don't think Jeff would oppose to.
No, I don't think so either. My sense is he would prefer to
Yeah, be more efficient with our time.
start, yeah.
Okay, so I guess just for the record, we've got all four of us are nodding in consent. So,
So one meeting a month.
okay, so then the other part of that was to
That-
change the meeting time to 6:30 instead of 7 o'clock. And
Once a month, I could do it.
I don't know. I like 7, but I'll if everyone wants 6:30 is fine.
Well, I actually like 7 too, but here's where I'm hesitating is because if we suddenly have more items on the agenda, it will be it'll just always be a minimum 2-item, 3-item meeting. So, I mean, I can plan around. I don't know.
Whatever everybody
I-
decides, I really don't. It's not that critical.
I can make it work. I have like 7 for sure.
well, how
have
about
like
this
7
then?
too.
How about this?
But
I
I'm
mean, why don't
for
we-
a few more months.
Can we try it?
Why don't we go forward with 6:30 and then if it's not working out for people, then
Yeah.
we'll just change it back, right? And see, we'll
But-
try something new and see how it works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Is everybody okay with that?
yeah. I go
Okay.
home and my kids
Yeah.
are still awake and
I
hungry.
was surprised that this was the only of all the boards and commissions in Larkspur, this was the only one that did 7. So I was just
Interesting.
surprised.
I
at
wonder
that.
why.
They've been doing it 55 years or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
There's going to be a protest tomorrow, probably. That'll change the time. Okay, so we've got consent on both of those, and if we don't like it, then we just changed it. We can change it.
Yeah, I guess we can change it back, right?
Yeah, yeah, if down the road, sure.
Just a logistical thing is, somebody, Elise or Kristen, who was able to send out like a calendar note that we could put on our calendars for the entire year. And that was really
If you
helpful.
want, I could try an Outlook invite. That's really what I've got. So
Yeah,
Or
that was helpful for me too.
Was that helpful for
Yeah.
you too? And most of us have iPhones, I think. I don't know if you can get an Apple.
I think she did it through Outlook or whatever your email
You did it?
thing is.
I got his Outlook.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
we can probably modify the, or maybe you can modify them. I don't know if you were invited.
Onto our calendar. Yeah, I can do my own, but she did it and she had all the information in there and it was the Zoom call in. Maybe
Uh-huh.
because back then we were Zooming in.
Yeah,
We
maybe.
modify the one that she sent out. So
Yeah.
anyway,
I'm happy to do that.
And they took out
Extended.
anything that was like Christmas, it was
Ah.
all nicely.
We do have to change, obviously, the city website and bulletins and, to make everyone aware. But
Give
that's not a
tweaks.
problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
okay. Well then we'll move right along from item A and we'll move to item B, which is the February 10th, 2026 meeting minutes.
I move to approve them.
I'll second it.
Can we have a roll call? Oh, yeah, we should get a roll call.
Commissioner Wagstaff,
Yes.
Commissioner Hall,
Yes,
Commissioner Chalmers.
I'm going to abstain because I wasn't here.
Oh, I
Okay.
wasn't here either. I was gonna.
that's what I was wondering. Is like, is this actually going to
You
pass?
can vote if you want. It's okay.
Oh, see, I'm a lawyer. I have to read it. I'm not just going to.
All right,
Does it pass if it's
Let me
given
say,
to?
you vote
I
on.
can continue it to the next.
let's
item.
just continue until Jeff's here. Yeah,
I can't vote on something I haven't read.
It was quite fun.
I wasn't here, so I didn't know you weren't here.
Oh, actually, I think I actually watched it on the YouTube. Yeah.
On the Zoom?
It
All right,
was-
we'll can we continue that to the next
I
meeting?
just haven't read the
If
minutes.
that's your motion.
I will rescind my motion.
Can I make a motion? No, I can't. Somebody's got to move to.
I will move to What are we doing it?
Continue
Tabling it to the next
to
meeting?
the next
Continuing
meeting.
to the next meeting.
I'll second.
The only meeting in March at 6:30.
Commissioner Wagstaff,
Yes.
Commissioner Hull,
Yes.
Commissioner Chalmers,
Yes.
Chair Campbell.
Yes.
Okay, the motion passes 4 yeses, 0 nos, 1 absence to continue the item to
Excellent.
March 10th.
Excellent. Okay, thank you. Okay, item C, planning commissioners reports. Does anybody have anything to report?
I hope you're watching the library because it's really moving fast.
Yes, it's exciting.
And
When are the books getting transferred over?
well, interestingly enough, there's going to be a transfer of person to person, I understand.
Yeah,
from
it's a
old
chain of-
library,
a chain of
Like
people.
a line of people?
Each box.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Who's
it's
in
a
the
thing.
Wow.
Yeah. Isn't that
Sounds
fun?
amazing. When?
It's March something. I
I'm
can't.
it's the 21st? No,
It might be that
because I think it's before the opening.
I didn't bring my bring
Yeah,
that with me, but
The kids to come see this. Wow.
yeah. And then there's an open house and donor event and lots of stuff.
Excellent. It's exciting to see.
Yeah, it really is.
No, I'm thrilled. I think it's wonderful.
And I guess Jeff's wife is quite involved in that.
Jeff's wife's charity is Refugia, and
Yeah.
she's doing the landscaping
Yeah.
around there. Yeah. And there's something with his sister doing
That's
something.
what I get them mixed up.
His sister's Kara Swisher, and she's doing something.
Okay.
And she's promoting it. She's promoting the opening of the library, I
Yeah.
think, in some way.
Anyway,
It's great. Yeah, libraries are a public treasure.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
What's happening next on the FAR? Like when can we get that done, I suppose?
I think the direction was to return with examples of,
Okay.
of other projects, so I can work on that and try to get it on the agenda for the 10th.
Is that the next meeting is going to be the 10th? Okay. Yeah, we'll celebrate. I'll bring a cake. And then is your view as our new community development director that we still vote on everything individually? I sort of saw you shake your head, maybe. Roll call, because I feel like when we started, we didn't really do that, and then we were told that we needed to have individual like an individual roll call on some of the smaller items like minutes and.
I'll follow up on that. There's a legal basis behind it.
Mhm.
I'll have to get back to you.
Okay, and it's not a crucial question.
It never hurts to have a roll call.
Okay,
But I'll verify.
okay. And then are we doing something with this? Are we talking about park special events policy?
No, I think that's left over from
Oh.
city
I
council.
think that's left over. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
No park special events for us. Okay, before we adjourn, I just want to make sure that everybody listening in the audience and on Zoom knows that our next meeting will be at 6:30 on March 10th. So that item is after adjournment, but just for the record.
Oh,
Can we have a motion to adjourn
I move to adjourn.
in a second?
I'll second.
And I don't think we need a roll call for this one. So all in favor? Oh,
Yes.
can I say that? Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, meeting adjourned. Thanks.